What helps the organization really ingrain the culture of people and planet first is managing your waste properly, looking at reusing it, recycling it, repurposing it. Might cost us more money, but it's the right thing to do, doing that right thing. We have calculated waste streams that do not put our products into landfill. We have changed initiatives at costs to the company where we are now recycling every single piece of PPE that our colleagues wear. They're all being recycled. We have changed the hearing protection we have so that it's no longer disposable. There's decisions being made like this every single day.
Canada is probably at the forefront of moving forward with real recyclable requirements, whereas Europe continues to move forward on the regulatory front. So we're really seeing it happening from the customer perspective, the regulatory perspective, and then also the end users.
At Jones, we tend to think of product development in a way where we have three key pillars that guide us. Pillar one is functionality of a product. Pillar two is compatibility in existing systems. But pillar three is all about sustainability. The way we approach sustainability is we try to make sure we're thinking about end of life for the product, and that we're also thinking about what raw materials could we use that have lower inputs in regards to carbon, in regards to other types of sustainability factors.
They're ands, not ors. So there is not a trade-off of, well, we can improve patient usability, but that makes it less sustainable. That doesn't fly any longer. It needs to improve the workflow at the pharmacy, be a better patient experience, and be recyclable at the end.
And really, why we do this is because it's the right thing to do from both a societal point of view, but it's also good business. How we approach material selection is we think about what we can do to try and minimize impact going in. So we're going to choose materials that have a lower impact on the environment overall. So we're trying to get away from certain types of metals and foils that don't get accepted into our recycling system. We have to think about design, and if we have multiple materials, how is that going to actually work in terms of end of life? And we think of things like, as an example, many of our Canadian blisters are manufactured using BioPET. And BioPET is a good example of taking a plastic polymer that we manufacture from food waste. And it still has all the functionality and safety of an original petrochemical product.
So as we think about sustainability, materials and manufacturing all together in the design so that at the end of its life, it becomes fully recycled. The next step for us is really to take the rest of our flagship products and go through the process from a design point of view of figuring out how to make them recyclable. That raises the level of complexity tenfold to where we are today with the current product.
Here at Jones, we're actually focusing on trying to use these materials and make them do more, and really understand what the capabilities of them are and how we can challenge ourselves with a more sustainable option, which is going to be technically more complicated for us, but we don't want to change that for the consumer or the patient.
We have some great paths ahead of us. We have just recently become Science-Based Target Initiative validated, which is massive. There aren't that many companies that actually take that step, and I'm so proud that Jones has done that. That comes with an expectation that 72% of our suppliers by emission will do the same. So that is helping drive change up and down the value chain. Just by us doing that, it's setting a great example. I see that's a massive stride that we will be taking forward. If we are sustaining our product properly, sustaining our people properly, sustaining the planet properly, it's a win across the board. And that is the culture that we are trying to create here.